Hi and welcome to PandAviation. Today we're going to take you to the world's most fascinating airport in history. Let's go, let's fly away. Hey, how are you? What's up? Well, today we have a very special feature. We're going to take you to the world's most fascinating airport, Kai Tak in Hong Kong. Yes, as you probably know, this airport was unique. Not only because it served Hong Kong, but it was stuck in the middle of the city. There was city all around the airport, and mountains and the sea, so it was a very challenging airport. And to land in one of the runways, runway 13, was even more demanding because there was, or there still is, a big mountain in front of it. So the airplanes had to do a very dramatic, very tight curve at very low altitude. That translated into great photographic possibilities. I mean, people would be under the flight path at the Kowloon residential area, and 747s and MD-11s and A340s would be turning very sharply and at very low altitude. Guess what? Great photography, great chances of registering beautiful airplanes. Well, but they say that good things comes to an end, right? And that happened to Kai Tak. Well, on July 1st, 1998, the sovereignty of the UK ended and Hong Kong became part of China again. As a result, the Chinese government decided to create a new airport for the city. So Chep Lap Kok opened on July the 6th, 1998, and that spelled the end of operations for Kai Tak. Kai Tak's last movements were actually on July the 5th, 1998. Well, before that, I had the opportunity of traveling there twice with the sole purpose of registering, photographing and filming airplanes, and that's what you're going to see now. Well, here we are at the spotting position number 1, which was at the airport's parking lot. You went to the roof and you took pictures like that of the movements and also of the inbound traffic on runway 13. They made those very dramatic turns, as you'll see in those images. Great spot until 10 a.m. in the morning, then the sun moved around and was in front of you for the remainder of the day. So in that case, I normally went to a second position, which was outside the airport boundaries. Actually was in a residential area on a apartment building, on the fire stairways of this apartment building. And that position is what you're gonna see now. It was called Funing Street, where the apartment stood. So now you're gonna see a few pictures taken from the airport, which will allow you to see the opposite angle. So this picture I took while standing at the airport's parking lot, and it's detailed a few spotters on the balcony on the terrace overlooking the airport. And that picture I took aboard the Singapore Airlines 747 on approach to Kai Tak, and it also highlights where the Funing building was. The results are shown here. That is the classic image that you took from the balcony. Also by the start of the curve, you could see that. That's me, and the background is on Funing Street. A few German friends, spotters, Oliver and Felix. And here we go, let's see some memories now. Well, here we start a photo album. I think you're gonna like it. And while we see images from aircraft from the three Americas, let's remember a little bit of Kai Tak's history. Well, the airport opened in 1924 after Mr. Harry Abbott created an aviation school there. In 1928, concrete ramps were built for hydroplanes, and by 1935, a tower was fully operational. Then the war came, and in 1941, Hong Kong became a Japanese area controlled by the Japanese, which rapidly built 2 runways. By 1945, when the Second World War was over, Royal Navy took the whole facility under her wings, and by 1954, runway 1331 was prolonged to 1,664 meters. It was prolonged again in 1958 to over 2,500 meters, and by 1962 the passenger terminal was inaugurated, capable of handling 24 million passengers per year. In 1975, the runway was extended to 3,390 meters, which allowed the full operation of wide-body aircraft. And the airport only grew from that day, and it handled about 30 million passengers a year and 1.5 million tons of cargo, which made Hong Kong Kai Tak the 3rd largest airport in the world in terms of cargo operations. But then in 1998, time came for the airport to shut down. It was a very sad day, and on the night of July the 5th, a Dragonair A320 was the last one to land at 11:38 in the evening, and a Cathay Pacific 747-400 was the last departure bound for London. So in a nutshell, that's the short and sweet history of Kai Tak. But I love to look back at those pictures and realize how many 747s were flying on those days. Those pictures were taken in 2 spotting trips that I did in 1996 and 1997. And they were just amazing because the variety of airlines, and again, 747s, DC-10s, yeah, just amazing airplanes. It was just incredible to be around. So enjoy the images. Yeah, it was great to see the cargo flights. They normally displayed very dramatic approaches, just like this Polar. And also to see special traffic, like this Pacific Air Force VC-135. But what really made me proud was the eventual arrival of the Varig MD-11s that were regular visitors back then. It was Varig's longest flight in history. It flew Sao Paulo to Johannesburg, then Bangkok, and finally Hong Kong, the longest scheduled service that the airline ever operated. Yeah, Varig was in its heydays, but from that time onwards, the airline simply crumbled until shutting down totally in mid-2006. Sad end to a great airline.
Okay, after that one, descend to 6,000 feet on 1020, and we'll give you a good reserve. Southwest 28. Dragoneer 431, contact approach now, 119.1. 191, Dragoneer 431. 628 Hong Kong approach, good afternoon. Radar contact, climb on the screen up.
Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, I know you're gonna like it. And if you really love Kaitak, let me recommend this book that I wrote. It has 220 pages full of images of Kaitak. I mean, everything that I saw there and more, every airline, every aircraft type, divided by regions of the world. Americas, Europe, Hong Kong, China, Asia. Well, it's all in here, all at the Kaitak book. And you can buy it at bettingbooks.com.br. Anyway, I'll be back with more. I have more footage, more photography. There's gonna be probably a second, eventually a third feature about Kaitak. Until then, please leave your like to the channel, recommend the channel to other aviation-minded fellows, friends, and hope to see you again in one of our flights. All the best.